from Minnesota. I see you're eating a sandwich, Sunsfan. Thank you for being so prepared for our cast there. Can I have a little bit of that sandwich?
Nope.
Okay, great. Ladies and germs, if you haven't joined us yet, my name is Sir Action Slacks. I'm going to be one of your casters here today on our Artifact Packs booth as we see a challenger go up against the White Dragon once again. I'm joined by Sunsfan TV. If you were, make sure that you use the capitalization correctly. It is capital S-U-N, capital S-F-A-N 69.
Why does everybody make such a big deal about the capitalization?
You do. Every time I don't do it correctly, you have this big conniption about it.
If I typed your name all lowercase, you wouldn't care?
No. You could not even type my name, and I won't care.
That's
Ladies and gentlemen, the match begins. Here we go. We got
Bit
Lumi.
of sass between the two of them here.
Handshake. Oh, wow.
Oh,
What
my.
respect he has before he destroys him. I love it.
All right, so what are we looking at here? The White Dragon is at the, strangely enough, compared to all the other games I've analyzed, the champion, White Dragon. Whoa, rock to the table just then. The White Dragon is the one we are watching on the bottom lane here. On the bottom, and the top is the Challenger. The Challenger is running the aggressive deck here, the aggro deck. Now he is versing the control deck. And unfortunately for the aggro deck here, the control deck does have a turn 4 play, whereas the last game we analyzed, he only had the turn 6 and 7 and 8 play. So the clear deck can come out next round, but the Challenger does have some early options. He has the strafing run, he has battlefield control, he has grazing shot. So yes, he can do quite a lot to get that damage up on the tower, but that is going to be the strategy for him. That's the only thing the Challenger can do. Pick two lanes, and go hard and just hope that the control doesn't come out. And the opposite with the Challenger. Challenger's got to wait. Not the Challenger, the White Dragon has to wait and see where the aggro deck commits. And where it commits is where you start controlling and you start making sure that that tower doesn't take that much damage. So let's see how it goes here. On the first turn, it can be 2 strafing runs to take out those 2 creeps. He can do that if he wants to, but I wouldn't recommend using 2 cards to just save yourself 2 damage from the tower and inversely do 2 damage to their tower. That doesn't seem very good.
And we're going to see this beautiful aggro deck versus
Oh my.
the Keith the Bold boys.
Speaking of bold, that is quite bold to choose this deck. It's the hardest one.
It is the most difficult deck to master. You have a lot of ways to mess this deck up.
That is
It
true.
can be extremely confusing, and a lot of the heroes can die. But play it right, Suns fan, in the hands of a true champion like our Minnesota masochist over here, it could be pretty good.
Minnesota
He's
Masochist, I like that.
Thank you.
So he does have battlefield control, which is the card that comes with Jamoy, your boy.
Boy, ya boy.
He double strafing runs, so kills a creep. Of course, Ogre ends up destroying him.
Now, I understand why he did that, but you're giving up some serious card advantage here. But I mean, you're giving up some cards. You're an aggro deck. You got to get that in early, but you're not going to win that lane against Keith the Bold. Keith the Bold is just this unit that you're never going to get through. So I would almost say that that's the lane you give up. That is the lane you give up, right? Because, well, it's hard because he's in a bad position here too. Middle lane, he's losing his Solar Khan. So you got to give this lane up too. So maybe that was like the only thing he could really do. But until we see what's facing off in the third lane, we can't be sure. But we know for sure that the champion can't do anything. The White Dragon can't do anything. So what do you do here? You can Disciple of Nevermore, but that doesn't kill the Bristleback, so you don't even bother. You can Grazing Shot, but that's still not going to kill the Bristleback.
Yeah, but he still lives at 2 HP. Oh, this is rough.
This is about as
This
good as
is worst
real
case,
good.
worst case scenario.
It's not
Nowhere to
good.
go for Sir Lacan in this one, and Bristleback gets an automatic hero kill, giving him 2 armor. She gonna make it hurt though.
Yeah. It's gonna hurt.
So what we was hoping for is the 25% chance that Disciple of Nevermore goes for that Bristleback, and that if you roll a dice like that and you lose, you cannot put that down to luck, because that was not the play you make in almost every case. 75% chance that doesn't do anything, and that's going to cost you. And this might be the play that costs him the game, because if he put that in a lane that he decides to commit to, that is better, and that is your finishing move. Putting that at Disciple of Nevermore is your finishing move. You have 6 creeps on the board, and you put that down. They're hitting that tower for, you know, what is that? That's 12 more damage, right?
She will die. She was going to die anyway. Now you have a creep on the board. But then again, anytime a creep spawns, it's going to make it weaker.
Yep.
Yeah, the Disciple of Nevermore would have been better in this lane. Look at it. Right? I mean, almost every case. The Grazing Shot came out, and then the Disciple of Nevermore came out. That's a dead Luna, and you don't have to worry about the Eclipse getting big. And then you're pushing the tower for an extra, what, 5 plus 2 plus another 2, right?
If you had the arrow, it would have been.
The Grazing
really
Shot
good
should have
with
occurred in
back,
the
so maybe it was worth it.
in the
Tough
second
turn
lane.
right
Hit
now.
that
He
Luna.
does have Grazing Shot.
It's hard for me to analyze without me being able to control the mouse and being able to look at every lane. But now that if I started the game and I could see every lane, Grazing Shot the Luna from the second lane, Disciple of Nevermore into the
Which will
third,
now not
and that
do
would have been
anything
a
against
win.
Bristleback. But
Yes.
what if it did?
Yes, what if he could kill his Jamoy? See, this actually isn't the worst thing in the world. Think about this, okay?
No.
You kill Jamoy.
No.
He's only out for the next round.
Yeah.
Right? You get him back immediately. You don't have to waste his time. He's a
But-
busy boy.
He is a busy boy, but who do you
Jamoy's a
place
busy
in
boy.
that- I guess, you know,
Nobody.
that creep could have spawned if he killed Jamoya boy. My goodness gracious, you're a real genius, Suns
No,
fan.
but this mid lane is already a disaster.
Yeah, it's real
You were
bad.
hoping for a creep to spawn because then it would get +2 damage, which actually would have been enough to kill Bristleback.
Yep.
All right, so what do you do here if you're the challenger? Because the challenger is playing from behind now, I think. If you're the challenger, where do you put your Zeus? If you put your Zeus in the second lane, you are risking a high chance that sits in front of that Bristleback, and that is a dead Zeus. However, you do have battlefield control, so you can stop it. Then do you do it in the first lane? Why would you do that? Because you already have a Jamoy there, which you can battlefield control. So the best spot would be the third lane. Just make that the lane that you want to win. You have the advantage there. So what do? Definitely the third. If you are the if you're the champion here, where do you put your Zeus? Well, he's putting it in the third because he assumes that other Zeus is going to come out there, and that's the lane that he pushes. So as a control deck, you want to control. He's won the first lane because nothing's getting through Keith. He's won the second lane because nothing's getting through Bristle. So he's like, I don't need that blue. I don't need those blue spells. I don't need them blue spells. I've only got red spells in my hand. I'm not worried. So I'm going to commit that blue hero to the third lane. And when the Earthshaker comes out, then I can decide where the next fight is coming out. So I think that's the better
Well,
play.
he's gonna
I think he's
sacrifice
doing
his
he's doing the right thing
Yep.
here.
And the ability to kill
Not
Bristleback.
necessarily a sacrifice.
We'll see about that.
And it's a sacrifice. It wasn't
Now,
pity-pity.
okay, it's still okay if he gets one card.
That was not the
in
right
this
play for the
deck,
challenger.
allowing him to have 3 mana. He can kill that Bristleback. Oh, what
Yeah.
a lucky boy!
He needs to cast 2, though. Right?
He does, but it's okay because it's only 1 mana for battlefield control and 1 mana for better late than never. Zeus's passive does 1 piercing damage per spell. As long
right.
as he uses both in that second lane, he'll make it.
Suns fan and Slacks have said the right thing here. He needs to save those spells for the second lane because he needs to stop that Bristleback getting out of control, and he needs to stop his Zeus from dying. But he shouldn't have put Zeus there in the first place. Like if you're an aggressive deck, you need to pick 2 lanes and stick to them. And he's not even winning the third lane now, which is he's lost every single lane, and he's not in a good position here. If you're the champion, what do you do here? You have options. You know, you can just let this go. Just wipe your hands clean. Just say, all right, yeah, it's up to you. What can you do to stop this? If the battlefield control comes out here, you know you can clear the deck, and that would still kill the Jamoy. So let's see what he
The
does.
issue is there's this item. Why don't you highlight that bad boy?
Wow.
He does have that.
Do me that.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna
No, Lumi's gonna put it on the bold. Now you've ruined
Yeah, you
the
really,
challenger.
he's in a lot of trouble here. Heath the Bold, my boy.
What is he? Oh no! All right, he used the creep, so our dreams of having any chance of killing Zeus are over.
Yeah.
White Dragon
Nasal Guru.
gives him a permanent -2
Imagine
armor.
if you had killed him last round. He'd be coming up next round.
My goodness gracious, son.
Next level plays, man.
You're truly a
All right, so this was a misplay here. He should have saved that spell for Zeus's passive. For those who don't know, Zeus does 1 piercing damage to his neighbors for every blue spell you cast. And if he had that too, he would be taking out the Bristleback right now. And now he only has battlefield control to do nothing. Doesn't matter. He can still kill the Bristleback, but it's not as good as it would have been, right? Because the Disciple of Nevermore, okay, all right. Well, look, it's not the worst case situation. Not the worst case.
I
He still
some
can
plays
battlefield
actually
control,
look
and he
really
has to
dumb
do. If he
for
doesn't do this,
strategy
it's
in
weird.
this game, which is the coolest part. You can think of a lot of I mean, you've thought of a lot of really dumb strategies that have kind of worked.
Thank you.
Maybe not here, but in private.
Oh, now he is making a bit of a mistake here. Battlefield control, you can target it on your enemies. So he could make Bristleback not hit him and get rid of this Necro Nevermore, the Disciple
let's
of
get rid of it.
Nevermore, which would actually help him out a lot because he doesn't need this -2 armor anymore. That time is quite over. So I would use your battlefield control if I were you. But
Well, that's the thing. There's a couple cards in the game for these decks. New Order is a similar card to Battlefield Control, but the difference is
There we go. He did it.
New
Good
Order
man.
you can only use on allies. Battlefield Control, the reason it's so good is because you can use it on literally any unit,
that's correct.
manipulating where they attack.
So Zeus will make it another day here. And that's actually super important.
Yes, it is. Because now, next time around, you have a blue hero to cast.
So using the minion from the first lane to the second didn't end up costing him anything because, yeah, of course, the White Dragon played the health item, keeping his Bristleback alive. So it wouldn't have actually killed him anyway. But in your mind, if you don't see what's in the hand of the White Dragon, that is the best play. That would have been the best play because it's like, well, that's going to do 2 piercing damage. Doesn't matter about his armor. Doesn't matter. It ended up not being a concern. Now, he has a grazing shot, and the White Dragon doesn't have anything he can do here.
I'm looking at the other side, actually. I was going to say Conflagration, but
Conflagration.
that is for the White Dragon.
That's true. Oh, okay. High level play here. Listen up.
Yep.
Grazing shot on your own creep here would heal up the Necrophos, allowing him to live through this lane. Killing your own.
No. No. You would kill the enemy creep because that would give you Necrophos 1 health. Getting 1 health gets you out of the range of the Luna and he survives. Okay? And then you get an extra 1 health from killing the Luna. If you kill your own creep, you don't get anything. So the grazing shot is what I mentioned at the start of this round, is what you use if you're the challenger. You use that grazing shot. He needs to use it now.
Unit? Maybe not a bad idea, as long as he kills that creep
You
next to
can
Necrophos.
Just kill this one next to Luna.
Yeah,
What?
exactly.
The passive only works on enemy units that died.
Oh, that's right. Enemy units that die. That's
Well,
right.
okay,
Sorry, fun.
let's pretend it worked
Oh,
the way
God.
that you said. Okay, why would you shoot your own unit anyway?
What is it? Shut up, Suntan. I'm just saying, if something died in that lane,
Yeah.
Necrophos would have made it. But
Alright.
If you're the challenger, you gotta buy items. You have to buy items because you are in a bad position. You're playing from behind. You can't go greedy because there's nothing to save up for. Now, if you're the White Dragon, you're in a commanding position. You can save gold or you can keep the hurt going, and I think that's the way to go. And that's why he bought the Traveler's Cloak.
he's gonna keep that
And
great.
I think he
doing
should
great,
also buy
Thank
the
you so
Red
much.
Mist Maul.
It's
And there
always
we go.
great to cast with someone that will call you out for not even a mistake.
I don't
but-
want to give out wrong information.
Well, I know we're not here to. I mean, but it
We're
could have
supposed to be
still
teaching
worked.
them the correct way to do things.
Now, what do you do here? You've got the Solar Khan and the Crystal Maiden coming up. Where do you put them if you're the challenger? Where do you put them? Well, you got to pick 2 lanes, and you got to pick the 2 lanes that aren't going to get blocked. So, knowing that there's no creeps going to the mid lane, you put that Solar Khan in the mid lane because you got to get it there. You got to get her in front of a tower, got to get her to do some damage. And then where do you put the Crystal Maiden? Well, the place you put the Crystal Maiden is where she's least likely to die. And there's an argument to be made that you put her in the third lane because you're not going to take out that Keith. The Keith could probably kill her. And there's a 50% chance that the Keith will kill her. So that's where you put it. Now you got to worry about where the Earthshaker goes. Where do you put the Earthshaker if you are the champion? Well, I'm guessing you put it in a lane like the first or the second. You've already got the Zeus there. You don't need to worry too much about the third lane. So let's see what he does.
You're the correct way to make me sad.
Grade 1.
I hate you so.
Knowing the Solar Khan is probably going to come out to the middle, I would put it in the middle lane as well.
Okay.
All right, so Earthshaker is going to be deploying here for the White Dragon, and for the other side we have, it's actually hard to see on our screen, but I believe it's Crystal Maiden and Sor Lakan.
Ooh.
I think everybody's going mid. This is going to be a big bad showdown here in the mid lane.
Heck yeah.
The problem with this, though, from the challenger side is
Oh no.
Crystal Maiden and Sor Lakan are very, very squishy.
So he got unlucky and Solar Khan's facing the hero, but we'll go through that when we get there. That's unlucky. This challenger is not facing the biggest stroke of luck here. Now, what do you do if you are the champion here? I think you just get that Red Mist Pillager out and you start doing some pain to this tower. That's what you do. You can Fighting Instinct, but there's no point. Now, what do you do if you're the challenger? You can't do anything.
Oh no.
Red Mist Maul might be the way to go for this Keith. Start doing some siege damage, start winning. You've won this lane if the Red Mist comes out with the Red Mist, because you, as a challenger, you couldn't do anything to stop that.
Yeah. Some bad arrow luck here, and he's opening himself up for White Dragon in this first lane. He seems to have been abandoning it, and that's exactly what a red deck with Red Mist Pillager wants to hear.
Yeah.
They want to see that lane abandoned so that they can ball out of control. When he hits that tower, he's going to get another one, and then another one, and then another one.
And this is not what you want to see if you're playing the aggro deck. You don't want to spend your resources. I mean, you kind of have to at this point. You got to put a hero in this lane now at some point to stem the bleeding.
Oh.
I mean, this is
so. This is bad for the challenger. He really needed to hit that tower, and if he did hit that tower, you'd be looking at 14 health remaining, which would be a lot easier for him to deal with. But now, at least the Earthshaker is dying, right? You got to get for the challenger. He's got to put the dimensional portal down. That's all he can do, and then he's got to grazing shot as well, because that's the only way to take out that bristleback. Little does he know that the actually no, he can't do anything to stop it. So this might be a good turn for the challenger if he plays right. There is very little that the White Dragon can do to stop it. He can put down a Red Mist Pillager in front of the Solar Khan, but Solar Khan will just kill it, and then that will save the Earthshaker though. He can clear the deck if he wants to, but that will kill the Crystal Maiden, but little does he know that 2 spells can come out from
you're
Zeus.
killing a hero at the very least because of this arrow.
This is not good. Sor Lakan wants to hit towers.
Yes.
She doesn't want to kill heroes. She doesn't want to help anybody. She wants to slam dunk towers, and every time that she doesn't, it's
This is a good teaching moment, actually. So Blade of the Vigil is, why don't you highlight that bad boy?
Sure.
It's an item that gives 2 attack and 2 cleave. So he's going to put it onto Crystal Maiden, but you'll notice that it doesn't actually add any damage to Bristle because he has the 2 armor, which blocks it. So the armor is based on each instance of damage that's being done.
So yes, good teaching moment right there. The cleave is going to be blocked out. We are going
There's
to
the
be able to
portal.
get those dimensional portals going. And if he can cast one more
Grazing?
spell...
Oh no, Grazing
he would be
Shot
able to
won't do
kill
it
that
because
Bristle. He
I've
cannot.
completely
He has
forgot.
used his spell.
I forgot. It's only blue spells, so my bad. That was not how it works. But, he's still gonna kill that Bristleback because 2 armor isn't enough to block the 3 coming out. But then he doesn't know that Fighting Instinct's actually gonna pay off for a second time.
No, he can use...
Last game we played,
right?
it
Not the blue
got
spell.
the extra
Not the blue
damage, and this
spell.
game is
Static
gonna
field only
save
pops
the
up blue
Bristle.
spells.
He can use that Grazing Shot right now to clear out that Red Mist Pillager. He has been saving it for a while. It would be a pretty good move, allowing Sor Lakan to... I think she would actually now hit the tower. He ruined the arrow. If you put a unit in front of an arrowed thing, you erase that arrow.
That's right.
And then if you can kill that unit, it can hit the tower. So White Dragon might have made a serious error as long as he Grazing Shots that creep in the next 10 seconds. We will see if he does it. He's hovering over Grazing Shot. Will he do it? to get that massive damage on the tower.
Of course, the reason that he, as we're going to see it killed, the reason that the minion was even placed to begin with is because by doing that, like you said, redirecting the damage means Earthshaker lives.
Yes.
So now it's kind of a which is more important. Sorlacon's now hitting your tower, but Earthshaker lives. So.
And that blew up in his face pretty bad then.
Yeah, I mean, Sorlacon, like we talked about, her passive Warmonger, 4 damage extra when hitting towers. She's a beast, man. I love this hero. One of my favorites.
Very strong. And all these different creeps as well. I mean, that tower is just absolutely decimated.
So this is a good position for the challenger. He's probably going to win this lane unless something comes out, like a Luna comes out next turn and does the Eclipse in this lane and gets pretty lucky. So that's what the challenger needs to avoid, and that's what the White Dragon needs to do.
After that,
Decimated! Goodness gracious!
Decimated is not a hillbilly word.
The way that
But there is the conflagration. So that's going to be very difficult for the challenger to deal with now. I'm defeated. I'm really defeated.
An answer has been put up by White Dragon though.
So the Crystal Man is going to die. I think
that would be this card, Suns fan.
Yes.
Before the start
that's a good card.
Conflagration.
Yep, there's definitely.
Yeah, Crystal Man is going to die at the start of the turn. So there's no blue spells that can be played by the challenger in the second lane. So he needs to, if he wants to do anything in the second lane with blue spells, he needs to put that there. However, in his eye, he's got the middle tower. He needs to now decide where he's going to get the other tower. And my thought is to let the first lane go. The first lane's gone. The red mists are going to duplicate. You need to put everything you have into the third lane if you're the challenger. Commit everything to the third lane. Put the Necrophos there. Put the Jamoy there. Just commit it, because right now that's your only option. I mean, you've pretty much got the middle tower. You need to just say, okay, I can come back and get that at any time. I need another lane. And if you let the White Dragon recover, you let this control deck recover and get some control, you won't ever come back. So this is his only option. So if you're a control, where do you put that Luna? Where do you put it? Well, that Earthshaker is surviving. The Earthshaker is surviving. So knowing that there isn't much you can do with 6 mana on the challenger's side, you get initiative and then you cast Eclipse. That's what you do. And then in the last lane, you put your Luna, and then you start making sure that lane doesn't win it for you. Doesn't lose it for you.
The G there.
You know what? I'm not casting with you anymore. Okay?
Alright, so he's playing it safe here. He's playing it safe. He's trying to make it so he doesn't lose this lane.
He's already essentially won this first lane in all likelihood.
Yeah.
Not necessarily though, because you could still put a couple of heroes here to stem the bleeding like I was talking about. But this mid lane is almost beyond repair for Lumi. 8 health against an aggro deck. You have to think that eventually it will go down at some point.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
do you expend resources? It looks like he's going to do it.
Interesting. So
see, like the casters were saying, I don't think this is the right play. I think you put the Luna in the third lane and predict that that's the lane where he gets your second tower. Like you have to, at this point, it's like, okay, he's got 1 tower. I know he's going to get 1 tower. Where is the next point of call? And unfortunately, the challenger makes the wrong play there. Doesn't take advantage of the fact that that third lane is empty now. But instead, he goes for this, and this is a bad play. You need to win eventually, and you can't win if you're an aggro deck trying to control the board.
in most scenarios,
That's what he's
you
doing.
just let that one go, but he does have 2 damage on all those creeps. Crystal Maiden is going to die instantly, so maybe he's looking to take that lane as well. Ooh, very, very lucky draws for our challenger here. None of the Red Mist Pillagers are hitting anything right now.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. He also got a Disciple of Nevermore. If he can put that in lane 2, or he can put it now in lane 3, assuming that lane 2 is going to be taken, got even more damage against those towers. So we'll see what Lumi has to answer for it. It does have...
Come in. Still recording. Okay, are we done?
How many minutes?
Nearly done.
Okay, what do you want? I'm tipsy.
You can load up one of the... You can load up the dick. You can load up one of the animes. Okay, I'm nearly done. Close the door. You can't put the Disciple of Nevermore in the last lane because, frankly, there is no heroes there. Okay, so he's putting the Disciple of Nevermore.
Oh, what have you done?
Oh my. Everyone's killing each other.
Not really though. Our boy,
Yeah,
Keith the Bold, is living.
I mean, he always lives, right?
Uh-huh.
He has fighting instinct just in case. Doesn't need to use it quite yet. That's like the finisher, right?
It really is.
You're about to win. You need to put fighting instinct on to ensure that you'll feel good about your victory at the very least.
So, White Dragon is going to put on that Fighting Instinct, one of the most powerful cards. Look, I mean, sure it doesn't do a lot, but look at that picture, man.
It's Centaur. He's owning a Centaur.
He is
That's ridiculous.
strangling a Centaur with one hand. Goodness gracious.
For those who don't know, in Dota 2, Centaur is like one of the tankiest heroes in the game. It's huge. So yeah, I can see why they like the look of the card and why they mock it for its terrible power.
What a man.
I mean, the thing to remember, and I said this yesterday, you have to balance it out somehow. His stats are ungodly. They're really good.
Very good. So we're seeing, you know, I think
See, the Challenger has made a lot of mistakes. See, there he put the Disciple of Nevermore there we didn't need to. He didn't need to control the board. By trying to control the board and stop the bleeding, like they said, he's lost the other lanes. And in this case, he's going to wait another turn before he takes his tower, which is stupid. He should have saved that card. He should have... It doesn't matter. There's a lot of should
your
haves.
best move here is to actually swap the...
But I mean, once again, brand new to the game. He's under pressure. A lot of people watching him. He's on the big screen. You can't blame him for what he's doing.
The Earthshaker and the Luna with the phase boots. This item right here, Red Mist Maul, is going to be doing some damage to the tower only if it's, you know, blocked up. So why not sacrifice your Earthshaker, keep your Luna in the game, build up those charges on Eclipse.
Right.
We'll see what he decides.
Actually, this paid off dividends so far for Lumi because you, even though it was complete luck,
Yeah.
you blocked Sorlikon with Luna, which is huge, and you're preventing this tower from going down. Again, it's going to go down at some point in all likelihood,
Sure.
but delaying it one round is huge against an aggro deck especially. He's going to go for the Eclipse, not that many charges. It's going to kill a couple creeps. And Sorlikon!
No!
Oh my!
That was
And now, by that, it's pretty much over for
luck.
the
He's still going to
Challenger.
get 4 damage, but he is
There's
gonna
not
go
much
for
you can
that
do.
tower. Man, 2 of
Lumi.
those charges not hitting that Sorla, that would have been a completely different situation.
Somebody's
love
been
it.
eating their Wheaties today.
Indeed.
So Zeus is coming out, Bristleback's coming out. I don't see how the Challenger comes back from this.
Indeed.
I believe that is the saying.
Yes, for luck. Absolutely. Eating the Wheaties.
The Wheaties.
Well, the Wheaties have been whittled down as we
Whittled.
continue our match here today. Bristleback is now available for our friend Luminous. And a very powerful round here, Suns fan.
Yeah.
Alert, alert. Oh, no, do not put that Zeus in that last lane. No, you want to put that in the first lane. You don't want to, okay, well. 7 mana allows our friend here to be able to use Thunder God's Wrath, which does damage to everyone in every single lane. If he had put it in the first lane, potentially, he could have activated it in this round, and he could have got a few kills here.
Double kill.
Double kill, in fact. But he's going to put that in the...
So the commentators explained where he should have put his hero, so I didn't need to. First lane was the only play because of Thunder God's Wrath, and if it popped in front of Keith, it didn't matter that Keith had 2 armor because that would have done 4 piercing damage plus the 1 piercing damage from the static. That would have been enough to kill him. And since he has initiative, he would have got him regardless. Then you have the other lanes where the Zeus would have been killed as well. So,
third
not the right
lane,
play.
Just kind of wait it out to see what happens.
there's lots White Dragon
not
can
much
do. You
going
can
on in
see how
lane
many
1
cards
though.
he has.
Have
in
you
hand.
noticed that anytime Keith the Bold's in the lane, it's just abandoned?
It's just gone.
Nobody wants to be in that lane anymore.
Who wants to be next to this guy? Look, he strangles a Centaur with
Yes, let's
one
get back to
hand.
the art on that card.
We don't have a lot of options here in this lane for Lumi. He can't put a cleave on.
I disagree. He can cast Fighting Instinct again.
He
That's a
could.
double Fighting Instinct on Keith
Oh
the
He's
my
gonna do
goodness,
it.
Fighting Instinct once again on Keith the Bold. And he does have phase boots. He could choose to phase over to this creep and deal 10
No
damage.
need. He wants to punish the creeps.
No need.
Make sure I killed a Centaur with one hand. You think you have any chance against
This Earthshaker would be dead as well if that Thunder God's Wrath came out, and that's three hero kills he would have gotten. And that Keith suddenly is looking super healthy and super strong and impossible to kill. And that's another move that he did that just cost him. There's so many ways in this game that you can make a mistake and still come back if you play well the next time. But this time it's made a mistake, and that's enough to lose you the game. If you make that many mistakes in a row. However, there was the one game that I analyzed before where there was just like 3 or 4 mistakes in a row, but then played one brilliant turn where it put the right thing in the right place, and that won them the game. So I mean, never give up, never give up. But right now it's looking pretty bad for the Challenger. How is he going to get that extra 4 damage? How is he going to get extra 4 damage now? If he just didn't mess it up, he would have already had this tower down.
Do you dare to question?
Well,
Thunder God's Wrath coming out on Zeus for, I think that's just a BM. Only
bad
one
man's
hero
move,
was
yeah.
hit.
Well, that does indicate that perhaps he has another one in his hand.
Luminous stacking up this damage on this free tower here and using all the items that he has because there's nothing to contest, there's nothing to lose. And it goes to our challenger, who does have a Thunder God's Wrath and could use it right now to kill Zeus, saving his own life and getting a few other heroes. Well, no, those got healed up, didn't they?
Oh, he goes for the armor play, and this is going to
Well, that was awesome.
dearly.
Boom!
Remember, piercing damage will go through any armor, completely ignores it, and as a result, instead it was actually a 4, no, I guess it's a 2 hero turnaround. He could have killed 2 heroes at the beginning of the round, but instead he loses 2 of his own.
All right, so the Challenger can recover because he does have 4 heroes coming out. So where he places them is going to be very important. Do not go for the... It's a hard one because this is very hard. So the Thunder God's Wraths are going to be fairly worthless. So if he puts 1 blue hero in the first lane, he has initiative, he can get rid of that Zeus. And then if he puts a blue hero in the second lane, he can get rid of that Earthshaker because the Earthshaker would be down to 2. So that's the play. Blue spread out first and second, and then you commit the 2 blacks to the you probably got to just spread out over first and second because I don't think you can do much else.
Well, I think
Well,
that was
we'll
a
have to
little
see
too
what he
aggressive
does.
by Lumi. He used 2 Thunder God's Wrath to kill a Zeus. I mean, none of the other heroes got affected. They're all coming out right now.
That's a good point.
4 heroes are going to be dropped in. If he just gets 1 blue hero in lane 1, 1 blue hero in lane 2, that's a double Thunder God's Wrath. That's going to kill 2 heroes.
Yeah, potentially. And the fact that Lumi expended 2 blue heroes to the mid lane means that he can't have a blue hero in every lane.
That's right.
Typically speaking, in this deck, other than Time of Triumph, most of your big game cards at the later stages of the game are blue cards. So this first lane looks salvageable.
Okay, all right.
He's looking towards mid, it seems.
You probably don't want to try to salvage the mid, especially with only 17 health in this red Miss Maul. It's going to go through 5 damage every time, no matter what. But okay, we'll see.
Yeah, see, I would have preferred the... Look, if he was gonna take this mid lane, I reckon he should have put the Solar in the first. I get what he's trying to do here, but maybe he was hoping that using the Thunder God's Wrath in the first, the Solar would be in front of the Zeus, and then he'd be hitting that pretty hard. But then he should have probably put the Necrophos there as well. Or maybe this is a really hard one. He's playing so far behind. It's very difficult to say what's the right choice.
I'm worried.
I'm optimistic.
No, that's very nice. But optimism has one
No, do
very,
it first. Go to the Thunder Gods. There it is.
Oh my. There's the Thunder God's Wrath, so he's going to get the 1 on Zeus in the 3rd lane.
Sure.
Deals 4 damage to Keith the Bold.
Don't forget to use my boy Jamoy's passive ability, Wisdom of the Elders. It allows you to draw 1 card.
1 single card.
1 singular card every
4
rounds.
Again, you might say that
Use your better late than never because you need to utilize the mana that you have. He needs to use
not
it.
great, but remember, he has by far the best card of any of the creep heroes.
Indeed.
Battlefield Control. It is an amazing card.
Indeed it is. Unfortunately, not going to be able to be used here. One thing you guys might not know is that if there's not a card next to you, stuff like battlefield control doesn't really help you out. If there was a creep, sure, but you can't tell a hero to attack a tower.
And you can't tell a hero to attack its own.
There it
frame.
is.
That's right.
That would be pretty broken.
Now,
I don't know
that
why
would
you
be
put it
a
there.
Heck of a spill.
Let's make that into the next patch, please.
All right. Here we
Moira's
go.
down.
Jaboy, ya boy, is dead. And our friends in the middle lane
Oh,
are
that's a fissure.
not doing well.
So again, Earthshaker has great cards. The Echo Slam we've talked about so many times. The Fissure has a 4-round cooldown, which is really long, but extremely powerful, as you can see.
Very
It'll
good.
stun enemy neighbors, and being stunned is essentially disarming and silencing. You pretty much can't do anything. You can equip items, but you can't use them. And unfortunately for our challenger, there's literally nothing that can be done in this.
Ugh.
That is the third Thunder God's Wrath.
They
Did
got
not-
all three. That's pretty lucky, Suns fan.
That's not luck.
That's skill.
There you go.
You know how we could have won this game as our challenger? Potentially, maybe putting down a steam cannon in that first lane would have been able to shoot, and then maybe could have had initiation on the second lane, allowing him to do a Thunder God's Wrath and shooting the Earthshaker, preventing that stun.
Yeah,
But
Steam
What do? Well, steam cannon is an option. Get rid of that creep in front of you. I think it's over.
Cannon
I think it
actually
is
very
over,
powerful
guys.
against pretty much any deck that has red heroes. They're super beefy, lots of times getting tons of armor, which it will ignore obviously, and having multiples of them is pretty disgusting.
Yep.
as I've witnessed many a time.
So he's actually going to go for the Oglogi Vandals here. He could have put down that steam cannon yet again, but the double Oglogi ain't a bad move. Not only do they do 4 damage with their attack, but they also have that passive ability that shoots the tower with 4 damage as well.
Oh dear.
So yeah, that's a decent amount of damage coming out of this tower, but it's time of
Time of
triumph,
triumph.
Sunfan.
That's right. He's just doing this to make sure Bristleback just can't die. He's not really going to be doing that much damage to the tower, especially
No,
if
he's doing
blocked
it
in
to
this case,
kill
only 4 siege.
all that damage coming
But
in.
he does get charges from Book of the Dead because a melee creep did die next to him. So he'll be able to spawn another 2/2 zombie, I believe,
Yeah.
which can be great at blocking. I mean, the challenger right now is going against a 4 health tower and a 6 health tower. He's so close.
He is super close. If
He's
this
super
deck
close.
just had a little bit more siege, he would have a very easy time. But at this point, he's got to make his way through these gigantic creeps, and he only has Zeus to work with. Not a great situation, and he does have Thunder God's Wrath, however. So he's going to have to commit that Zeus to the middle lane. This is all about initiation. He cannot do anything in the
Initiative.
first... initiative?
If he put Zeus in the first lane, he would be able to Thunder God's Wrath that Earthshaker before it gets to him. But I don't know why he committed there, because that tower's gone no matter what he does in that lane. He has to just abandon it. So it would have been better to put it in the first lane. Yep. But even then, like maybe even in the third lane, so he can guarantee that tower goes down.
Initiative.
But we'll see.
Initiation.
Yes, both are interchangeable words.
Not in this
There's
case.
the
It
assault
literally
ones.
says initiative. in the
Well,
front.
you know, you don't have to talk about that.
Okay.
That's just a way that some people pronounce it.
Just like the coup de grace.
Le coup de grace?
All right.
Okay, our boy here has got some major damage. He does have an Eclipse. If he does activate that, that's pretty much over ski. He could have a little bit of fun and not do it.
He just passed, by the way. And he did not cast Thunder God's Wrath.
Well, you know, I believe that it was not his turn yet. Oh, he did pass.
But he did pass.
That's unfortunate for everyone involved.
Well, he was just using Zeus as a body, I suppose.
Sure.
Why didn't he not
We
use it?
realized
That
that
just-
it wasn't going to make much of a difference.
Oh,
don't
it
understand.
might have been the big play. All right, let me talk you through this.
Let's just get through this game
One
nice and quick.
hero
I don't think I
in
should
the
pause it
first
anymore.
lane. He's got 4 heroes coming back.
Because we all know what
You
went
put
wrong
one
here.
hero in the
I don't need
first
to
lane.
explain
It's a
it.
black hero with steam cannon. You can shoot that at the Earthshaker. Then in the second lane,
Not
Go
to
ahead.
stop. I think the reason he probably didn't cast anything because he doesn't care. He doesn't want these heroes to die anymore. Tower is lost. killing them actually helps Lumi because they end up spawning. But please continue.
Okay, well that's a pretty good point there. But
No, because it's going to be over in one round, so it doesn't
Nice to
matter if he
say.
spawns in 2.
puts Jaboy in the third lane
Yeah.
to try to stem that assault right there.
Okay.
He does have a lot of options here. A lot of global attacks. Thunder God's Wrath, he's got Steam Cannon, and he's got all 3 heroes coming out. So it's about how he decides to use it. Perhaps he'll put a blue
Does have
in
3
lane
heroes
1,
coming out. This does
pop in
help.
that Thunder God's Wrath, put 1 black
But
hero
it's
in lane
delaying.
2 to get himself that Steam Cannon and see how it goes. Ya boy, Jaboy. Oh, wait, I'm reading this wrong. These guys are coming out next time. No, this
They're
time.
coming
he
in
just
now.
hasn't-
Thank goodness.
The way that we look at it.
Oh, why, dude?
okay.
Why?
Committing 2 heroes to that last lane. Interesting choice there.
This game's actually way closer than we're making it sound.
Yeah.
This is super. He just needs to do a few more damage to the towers.
4 and 6.
I don't know how he's getting around any creep though in that mid lane.
Gonna be pretty rough here.
Ooh.
Oh, the flag. Oh,
Flagration is going to
it
help.
looks pretty good here. So he could have cast Thunder God's Wrath right now. That would take out Earthshaker from that middle lane, buying him a
That's
little
what
bit
he
of
can do.
time.
He should have done it
and
last
damaging all
turn
the
if this is
other
what he was going
heroes.
to do.
Okay.
That's a
I
good
don't know
start.
why he didn't do it.
What else you got?
Well,
Gets 2 mana back because Crystal Maiden's somewhere in the field.
that's correct. He could also Frostbite, but he might want to save that, Sunsfan. Might want to save that Frostbite.
Plus, it doesn't actually kill Keith because of the armor.
Sure, but it
Potion
would
comes
save
out.
our boy Jamoy.
That is true.
Battlefield Control also being able to be used. He could use Battlefield Control to move that so that it didn't die, but he could also use that in the last lane.
Eclipse
Yeah,
is
I
going to
guess
come
that
out.
There's a lot of choices. Let's just put
He's-
it that way.
Let's put it that way.
Look, White Dragon's got a
I
lot
think-
of things he
I
can
think
do.
you're right about Steam Cannon being super important. He's going to have to cast that in the mid lane, along with the Grazing Shot. If there's any opportunity, perhaps Zeus would die to.
So-
there's no good choices for Grazing Shot at this stage. Armor is just super powerful right now.
Let's talk about Frostbite and how powerful it is. It doesn't seem like too great of a card. 2 damage and disarm. But in a situation like he's in on that last lane, it's imperative.
It's really good.
Because he is able to stun up that Bristleback.
That
meaning
Zeus is
all
probably
that
gonna be
siege
taken out now,
damage,
right?
all that damage that's coming out, not going to matter at all. Steam Cannon is launched, and we're probably going to see Sorlikon die. I'm wondering if Lumi is actually going to commit something to it or just let it happen.
So it's
We'll find
it
out
is
soon.
close. He's going to take
But,
one tower.
This is definitely the play. You guarantee lethal on this tower.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You could potentially use it on Zeus in the third lane, but it's way more risky.
He could kill the Luna,
Kill
getting
Luna.
the lethal on this tower right now, or he could kill Zeus. It's a big decision. If that Zeus lives, he has some powerful spells. We know. Look at how many cards. He doesn't know what he has, but
All right, he goes
Okay.
for the Luna.
going for the lethal.
That's probably the right
Sorla
play.
will take this tower for her own.
Yeah. Not a bad use of time there. Grazing shot onto the Zeus with 1 HP.
If only he had
Only.
a heart stopper right now.
Oh my goodness gracious. Or another grazing shot. He could take out that Zeus and things
Yeah.
would be so much easier in that next lane.
Well, actually, the cunning plant or the
Alright, we'll see
new
what he
orders
has to
will
do
change
here.
that. So
He's going to put assault ladders. Why
Okay,
not?
yeah,
He
yeah.
got some free mana. Why not?
Yep. Right now with this deck, you're getting blocked completely from all these units, which is one of the downsides of playing the aggro. You don't really have a lot of units.
Eclipse
But
just comes
the
out.
Eclipse comes through.
Will it
and
be
that is-
enough damage, though?
Yes, more than enough, in fact.
No, I mean to take the tower. I'm not an
Oh,
idiot.
the tower, no. Not quite. Not quite yet, my friend. He'll probably cast a
of the
Foresight here.
Dead.
Does have a couple of zombies, of course, from that Book of the Dead.
Yep.
Hey, that tower's going down next round.
Probably will draw a couple cards and then try to go for the lethal next time around. Does have Broadsword, of course.
Poor
Will get
books
4
to the
attack.
10. All right, sure.
It actually gets it's going to be a 6 damage.
So this looks
About 6 damage away from.
very close,
boy.
but it's
Yeah.
not. Like there is
This
very
of
little the
course,
challenger
he's
can
gonna
do to
be
get the
using
last
a little
tower
bit of
here.
cunning plan there, cunning plan. Why would he use
What does he
that?
do? He needs
Swap
siege
position
damage,
with
doesn't
neighbors,
have
'cause
it.
It does draw a card. It gives
He's
him
never
a
gonna
little
get
bit
through.
of
So this is
extra
over.
ammunition on what could very well
It was
be
over
the
before,
final
but,
round of this
there is
pretty
a lot of
exciting
flailing
game.
going around here.
11 rounds have gone by. I gotta say, it's been a heck of a ride.
Absolutely. A little bit surprised he didn't. Did he equip the Broadsword? Oh, he did. Okay. So as much
So
damage
Zeus
as
is coming
possible.
out. Where do you
Remember,
put the Zeus?
Bristleback has time
Well,
to triumph on
the
him,
only
so
place he
he's
can
doing
possibly
tornado
win it
siege
for you,
no
the
matter
last
what,
lane.
unless
It's the
you
only
get a
place he can go.
Frostbite or something like that on him.
That's right.
But the problem is there's
Mm-hmm.
only one hero being deployed for the challengers. So this is
And
going
that is
to be a
it.
tall order, to say the least.
So that's the
It will be
game.
pretty tough.
So how did he
Frostbite
lose?
is definitely
How did he
gonna
lose? It was
be
a
used
like
on the bristleback
a lot of
anybody
little
else 'cause he
problems,
does
a lot of
have
little
that
mistakes
cleave damage,
here and
but
there.
At the same time,
We went through
Zeus is doing
most of
some
them
major
as they
damage as
happened,
well.
and
So we
there
have to
isn't
see what
just
our boy
one
has
that lost
here.
in the game.
Could he have enough to take the
Deployment
whole
issues,
thing?
not
Doing
using
the
the
math right
right
now,
spells at
but
the
I'm
right
not gonna spoil
time.
it for you.
It
He
wasn't luck
actually
this
is
game,
closer
like
than
it
you
was
think, my
last game.
friend.
Wasn't
No,
luck.
that's
You,
what I'm
you weren't
saying.
being sarcastic.
I was
In
not
this
being
case,
Okay, so we're not going to spoil it.
We're not going to spoil it, ladies and germs. Now, don't forget the steam cannon improvement.
Oh, no.
That's right, the steam cannon. Don't hit the button, whatever you do. The steam cannon right here could do some incredible things for this guy. 4 damage, could get that Zeus down to a low enough. Just don't forget to hit steam cannon, my friend.
I'm pretty sure you'd use it on the creep to allow Zeus to hit the tower.
No way.
He's got Eclipse and
Use
he's
it on
got
Zeus,
priority. He's not
And
gonna.
then, you hope that you
he's
can
not gonna
cause
survive.
frostbite.
Doesn't matter what he does.
And pray, that's true. There's a couple different scenarios, you're right. Because if you end up killing Zeus after casting one spell with that 1 piercing damage,
That's
then
right.
it takes 7 damage off the board.
Listen here.
You're pretending like
Creep,
it's
you
not
give yourself
over.
an
It's
opportunity
it's
to try to
totally
tie
over.
the game.
But anyway, guys,
All right, next round.
this was an interesting
he
game.
just has to
It really
survive
was.
one more round. He is going to
Well
shoot
done
the
to the
Zeus,
challenger.
All right.
giving him 1 HP.
Yep.
Well
if he
done.
can just survive past that
It's
first
there's a lot of pressure
initiated
up on
round,
stage.
he will kill
Good
the
seeing
Zeus.
you
If he can
pick the aggro
frostbite
deck.
that bristleback, only 2 damage is being dealt to his tower, and he makes it 1 more round, Sunsfan.
Oh, he can also cast 2 spells to kill the creep in front of him. allowing
That's
him to hit
correct.
the tower as well.
It comes down to this. Does
Defense.
Lumi have a way to kill this man in 1 fateful turn?
Yes. I like how you built it all up. And there's the Eclipse.
But
There
what
it
if
is,
he
and
did?
there's the win.
Yeah, that was very, very close. I mean, Lumi's tower ends up with 6.
It actually wasn't close at all. It seems like it was, but it wasn't. Like, there was no way that he could get through. And there was just a lot of times where Lumi was just like messing around a little bit, I think. Actually, Lumi was playing like he was trying to counter someone that would do the right play, which is the right thing for Lumi to do. And look, the Challenger did well going against one of the harder champions there. And has the aggro deck, no doubt, which is one of the harder decks to play if you're new, especially because you... Surprisingly, because usually the face decks, like the ones you see in Hearthstone, are very easy to play. It's just go face, go face. But in this game, there is so much you need to consider. And one mistake, using the Sniper on them more early or placing a hero in the wrong lane, can lose you the game with the aggro deck. So, very interesting play. Well done to the Challenger. A lot of things that could be different. A lot of things that the White Dragon went right for him, I guess, in a way. But time for the next game.